else in a second. I just want a few minutes. So, yesterday, I went to a wedding last night. So it's pretty funny because you guys know very, very much how I've always said that mixing personal life and work life is always hard for me, and it's a topic that we've talked about a few times on the show. So this is actually the first work wedding I've ever attended. Any work colleague that I've ever attended. So my girl Ruben got married, and Ruben and Colin, congratulations. And her name's Melissa, but I call her Ruben. Everyone calls her Ruben. What am I talking about?
Does she like? Never mind. I was going somewhere with that, and I just totally. It's gonna make a bad American Idol.
You were gonna. Oh, I thought I was like, are you gonna talk about a sandwich?
Everybody's searching for that something. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But so we're at the wedding, right? And we're at the wedding, and it's funny because you go to these work functions. First of all, hold on real quick. Anna and Albert are listening. Hey Anna, hey Albert. I work with Anna. Jason I work with, and his girlfriend Christina, and then Patricia, who we used to work with, and her boyfriend. They're all listening. So we were all sitting at the table together. So first and foremost, you go. So there's a lot of things I picked up at this wedding. So first thing you notice, straight up, is that it's actually good, and it's funny because you set up, and Omar, and Anthony, when you're sitting down and you're planning the tables for the wedding, and you have to sit there and pick where everybody goes. It's always like family, then friends, then etc.
Then work.
Right. So there's good and bad about that. Like, so you're farthest away, like you can't see anything. Like I never even saw the cake. Couldn't tell you what it looks like. It was so far away. I needed like binoculars. So I never even saw the cake because then the minute they did cake, there was 87 people standing around it. So I was like, oh my God, I can't even see it. And by the time I got there, it would have been half gone. Like it was that far away. So, but the other good part about it is that it puts you right next to the bar. So let's just say quite a few people at our table enjoyed themselves last night, and it was a lot of fun, and I mean we had a blast, but there were so many different random dynamics. Now let me ask you both. Okay, Omar, you just got married. Who's your best man?
Brandon.
It's Brandon. Is he coming today, by the way?
Possibly. He hasn't called me.
Oh, word? He's coming?
He might be.
He might stop by.
Stop the madness.
And he might actually end
that cat is off the hinges.
He might actually end up bringing another bottle of something else too.
Oh no!
All right, so let me ask you this.
I mean, yay! That's what I meant.
So let me ask you this. Brandon's best man speech. How long was it?
5 minutes, just about 5 minutes or so.
Really?
Yeah.
It was that long.
We've known each other since high school.
Okay, now we're gonna have some issues. Hold on. You were best man at your wedding. Who was it?
Jordan.
For real?
Yeah.
Nice. How long was his speech?
This is Jordan we're talking about. It probably was about 7.5 minutes.
Okay. Hold it. I am totally thrown aback on this. We are sitting at this table last night, right? And the maid of honor gets up.
I mean, think about it for a second.
My man.
How long
Let me tell you about
I'm just saying,
the Batman.
When I met my man, Bruce Wayne back in the day, before we were singing, doing the soul project thing. And, go ahead.
You can go on 7.5 minutes just making it up right now.
I know, right?
Okay, so I've been a best man before for my brother. My speech was about 2 minutes. Now, the best man and the maid of honor speech, I swear to God, I thought it was tomorrow. Like I was like, "Are we done yet?" Like,
so it was like church. It was like church, my church at home on Sunday.
Like it was so well. What? It's your wedding day. You're congratulating a couple. What are you doing? Reciting War and Peace? Like so the maid of honor gets up, right? The maid of honor gets up.
They had Omar write it for him.
And I swear to God, all of us were psychoanalyzing it. We're convinced that the maid of honor wanted to marry the groom. It was all about me, and I'm the one that didn't want them to get together, and me, and it was so funny. She was all like, so I then went and did this, and then I went and did that, and I was so happy, and I was so upset, and I'm really happy. I mean, it was
before E, except after C.
It was unbelievable. Literally, she was walking out with her boyfriend, like in the middle of it. And we're like, I bet she's still talking about herself. Like, I mean, it was all about her. I think they said
you should have seen me at the wedding giving this speech. It was just marvelous, and everyone was crying, and I was just talking, and I was speaking from the heart.
So of course,
That was
she was
very
also
good
from
point.
Long Island. She was also from
Of course.
Long Island.
Of course.
But so that speech was probably about 7 to 8 minutes long. It was all about her and her feelings about this. It had nothing to do with them as a couple. It was all about, let me tell you what I think about them as a couple. Like, it was unbelievably selfish, at least to me. So we're sitting at the table cracking up, right? We're like, could that have been any longer? Guess what?
Best man gets up and speaks for 10 minutes.
It could have gone longer because the best man stands up. Now we're sitting there and like,
That was like the deacon doing the one. I'm serious. That's like in my church back home. The deacon would
I thought
pray.
Joel Osteen was the best man. Like he was just preaching. Like
The deacon would pray before the pastor got up, and the deacon would pray. And this is no lie. I have never seen anybody. Longest prayer I knew up until I started paying attention to church was God is great, God is good, let him thank us for our food, etc., etc. No, I mean, preach until he sweat eyes closed. Bless everything from the pastor down to the man watching the toilet in the back of the church.
wow. I mean, so literally, we're 5 minutes into the speech. And we're 5 minutes into the speech, and the guy goes, so the best man. Now, I will say this. At least the best man actually had a little bit of humor. Like, he was saying a couple funny things. Like, he was keeping the crowd engaged on some level. Like, the maid of honor lost everyone in about, like, a minute and a half. You know how when you're in a room and people are paying attention and then you lose them and you can hear, like, the residual noise and the private conversation starting in the background? Like, that was happening during her speech.
That's when you know it's too long.
Right. At least he kept him engaged for the first couple minutes until he goes, so that was 1994. After like
Oh my
5
God.
minutes, we're like, wait,
Hold on.
we're like, hold up. Like, he's still got 15 years left. Where the hell is this going? So,
Faux cheesy.
All right, speaking of that, Brandon was also Danny's best man. I don't know if you remember this.
Yes, I do.
Anthony, but he's about his Danny's speech for Danny was about maybe 5 minutes as well.
Right.
But they've known each other even longer than he's known me. In the middle of it, one of the kids that's at the wedding as well yells out, "Get on with it already!" In the middle of it.
Wow.
Right in the middle of it. Now,
Oops,
granted, it's not that long of a speech, and he's tossing some humor in there anyway. But that just made it perfect.
I mean, no, but I mean, literally,
Right?
we were joking at the table, right? We were joking that it was like that. There was that one commercial about like speeding it up a little bit, where like the old professor was in like the Catholic school, and he was talking and talking and talking, and the one kid took the initiative, and he just stood up and started clapping in the middle of it like it was over, and then everybody stood up and started clapping. So the guy was like, "Oh, thanks." I was literally like, "Should we start clapping? Should we start clapping? Should we just start clapping like the speech is over and we'd be done?" But the other funny part that I thought was the funny part of the wedding was, now you know me with my with how much I'm like obsessed with music and songs and all that stuff. So she had the whole thing was amazing. She was a stunning bride. And they're such a great couple, and everything was fantastic, and everyone really had a good time. And she's Jewish, he's Irish Catholic, so they did the service at the hotel itself. They had mixing in of both Irish. They had Irish things mixed in with the Jewish traditions.
So Irish Catholic and Jewish.
Right. So,
Nice.
But it didn't make anyone feel uncomfortable. Like they did the chair dance and the glass breaking, but then they also did like the traditional Irish prayer, and so it was. But it wasn't uncomfortable. Like it wasn't like if you were Catholic you were uncomfortable because of it. Like you were at a wedding that made you feel weird. Like it was very very good, and they made sure they mixed it up a little bit. It was fantastic. But they had this they had this string trio, I believe it was. I couldn't actually tell. The only time I could ever see them, I only saw two, but I always saw three chairs. So I don't know if people were taking breaks or whatever, but literally they're sitting there, and right when they stop and they go to light the unity candle, I believe it was. I believe this is it, and they started playing music. Literally, this is what it sounded like. So this is literally so. Whole church is quiet.
Seriously?
So I'm sitting here and I'm going like this. I'm bopping a little bit, like in my chair. I'm like, Yeah. Like, and then I'm just going, and
I can ride my
you
bike with no handlebars.
and I'm just kind of
no
listening,
handlebars.
and I'm kind of getting
no,
into it, right? So I'm sitting here.
No handlebars.
I'm sitting here, and it's doing this, right? And I'm like, I am such an idiot. So so my date's like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. Like, it totally snapped me out of it, right? So we're in the reception, and my buddy Jason leans over, and he's like, hey, can I ask you something? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, so when we were there, that the whole string played in the middle. Was I the only one that thought it sounded like this?
Wow.
I almost fell off my chair because I was like, I thought I was the only idiot that thought I was listening to the Flowbots at the wedding. I swear to God.
Well, maybe they did.
No, it definitely wasn't. It went into like Ave Maria or something. Very, very traditional. That's exactly, hands down, what it sounded like. I thought I was riding my bike with no handlebars at the wedding.
Nice, very nice.
It was a call out. I mean, Jess walked down the aisle to White Wedding. Her brother played the guitar.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So
That's actually
it's-
pretty
it's-
funny.
It's very possible.
You think?
It's possible. You never know. They could have just been a little.
Little funny?
Yeah.
Little funny ha-ha. Start
Yeah.
with the Flowbots beginning.
Maybe it had something. It meant something to them.
But it was so funny. It was just, I thought I was just the only idiot. So then I started thinking, I was like, God, I can't. If he thought it, and he actually asked me about it, there must have been other people that thought it sounded like it.
Probably.
Had to be. But I mean, it was just funny, dude. Like I'm literally sitting there like bopping in the chair, like, no. And then it went into like the normal one, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing. I'm good." But so I'm sitting there, and at these weddings and stuff, they're really, really chintzy with the drinks. But it was actually at one of my hotels. So it was at the Westfields Marriott. So I go up and I order, shocker, Jack and Coke.
Surprise, surprise.
And he does the shot of Jack with the paced out topper that literally pours the perfect shot. There was like 6 people behind me. I mean, he put it in. And he put like 18 cubes. I literally was like, really? And the whole line behind me started laughing. And I was like, dude, I work here. I was like, I work for Marriott. Like, what are you doing? Like, hook me up. I felt bad because 2 of the people that were at our table that actually were there through Marriott connections, one who still works there and one who doesn't, are actually pregnant and just about ready to blow. On top of that,
Just about ready to blow it and they're pregnant. I think.
well,
never mind.
my friend Anna,
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
who's actually listening now because she's at work. So hi Anna. It's funny because
Hi Anna, how are you? Sorry, I didn't mean to indicate anything. I'm not trying to say you're God and you Tesla or nothing like that. I'm just saying that was a little euphemism.
You're digging a hole, dude.
Right.
Digging a hole.
I know I'm is.
But it was great because when she got up, she went to the bathroom or she went somewhere, and I looked at her husband Albert, who I just met last night for the first time. I'm like, dude, so you're taking full advantage of this designated driver? I'm like, this is pretty much it. Like, this is their first kid. I'm like, you only got 4 weeks? I'm like, you gotta. He's like, oh, absolutely. Like, this is like the last hurrah. Like, I gotta use it as long as I can. He's like, I think I've had 10. I was like, hell yeah. I mean, might as well. Seriously. I mean, if she's pregnant, take advantage. It's a wedding. Have fun. She can't. So if you're there, and it's not like, look, there were definitely people there that were acting slightly drunkenly belligerent. As is all weddings. It's not like he was out of control. Especially at our table. I don't think anyone was really. Okay, maybe one person, but for the most part, I think everyone that was there. No, I wasn't. I was actually really good last night. It actually hit me after we left Fast Eddie's last night.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, I went. Yeah. What's that supposed to mean? What you trying to say?
So you didn't have any drinks at Fast Eddie's?
Well, it's
No.
Come on,
See,
come on now.
What happened
What
happened was.
See, I was running, but I wasn't really running, and the lamp had just fell over.
my favorite bartender was not working last night, but she was there. She cracks me up. She cracks me up. She's like, I am so tired. And I'm like, then why are you here? And she's like, because I got my hair done today, and I look like a pageant queen with my hair, and it's so how can I just sit at home with my hair like this? It's not gonna look like this ever again. So I have to go out and let people see it. And I'm like, is that really why you're out? She's like, yeah, really. I'm really tired, and I'm probably going home soon. But I have to take advantage of my hair when it looks like this. I'm like, wow, you are a trooper. You're out because your hair has volume today, and it's gonna be different when you actually shower. Unbelievable. But yeah, at the wedding for the most part, I was I was fine. I let my date have a few glasses of wine, and she was it was all good. It was fun
Word.
though. Yeah, I mean it's funny because they have the slow dance and the fast dance, and they were mixing it up. And
Did they play Apache? They play Apache, and that's when Omar just like he did like some Michael Jackson show. He came up through the floor like in that bad video.
Oh my
He starts
gosh.
doing the Apache.
like Rey Mysterio coming in to wrestle.
Right.
619. He shoots up in the air like 10 feet off the platform. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's funny.
A Rey
No, they
Mysterio
didn't
joke.
do
That's
it.
a good one. I'll give you credit for that.
You like that
a
one?
Rey Mysterio joke.
619.
I'm like twice his height, so that
Yeah,
doesn't-
you are. Yeah, he's about as big as your lunch. You know what I mean?
Probably.
He's not a big dude.
He's about yay tall.
Yeah, but so yeah, it was funny. So like everyone's out there slow dancing, and then all of a sudden they bust into "You Shook Me All Night Long," and I look at the people we know, and I'm like, let's just stand out here and keep slow dancing. So there's like this group of us just standing out on the floor slow dancing to "You Shook Me All Night Long."
Wait a minute, Jess. Didn't you do the Macarena to the Cupid Shuffle at one point? Or
Yes.
YMCA?
Yes.
Yes, she did.
I forget which wedding it was. I've seen you
Danny's.
guys at so many.
It was a.
Yeah, Anthony the wedding crasher over here.
No, I DJ'd a bunch of weddings this summer. I was like,
Good.
I did Danny and Janelle's wedding, and when he was talking about that, I did Mandy and Jeff's wedding.
All right, let me ask you a question
Seriously.
seriously. How is he as a wedding DJ? I'm just curious. Is he good?
He keeps the crowd in it.
Does he?
He's-
Does he bring like props for like YMCA, like
doesn't-
lays and big
see,
sunglasses and stuff?
He doesn't need to because the two that I saw him at, me and Jess were there. That's all that really was necessary at that point.
Seriously.
He got out there and shook his butt, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I
did.
mean, for Danny and Janelle's wedding where they had the money dance, I went out and gave the lady $1 and went and danced with
Should
the
I bring
groom.
up those pics?
Really?
What?
Oh,
I didn't hear something about pics. What?
pics of you
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh,
and Danny.
Yeah. So there's pictures of me on Facebook dancing with a dude. What else is there?
So no, but my question is this: like when he mixes in like fast and slow, like so he does fast and he does slow. Like does it literally go to like this?
Hey,
I knew that was coming.
what's the matter?
No.
No, it's gonna be okay.
No.
Sit down, let me tell you
Come
something.
here, sit down. Let me tell you something.
Listen,
No, baby, that's not a roofie in your drink.
Why
Let me ask you seriously.
do my water taste funny? That's
all
ice.
these bubbles.
That's ice, baby. I'm European. I don't use ice. I didn't have all this fizzies in my water. No, I feel
Okay.
sleepy. I'm gonna take off my shirt.
We're playing truth or truth, Anthony.
Truth or truth?
Yeah, because we're not doing dares. Have you ever on your own, just completely on your own?